Good morning, Quilt Roadies. Thank you for stopping by. Today's going to be a mishmash of a whole bunch of stuff, but let's start with the obvious, okay? Look at what's up on the design wall. It's an oldie. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. If you decide that this is your cup of tea, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. It's much appreciated. Otherwise, we'll see you maybe somewhere down the road, huh? Well, first of all, I want to say that when I finished that book, The Body Keeps a Score, there was a switch that went off in my brain. There was some, and I cannot pinpoint it to explain it, but a switch did go off in my brain, which allowed me to accept and recognize things in my life that have also changed some of my present-day behaviors, which has been a wonderful experience. So I've been very much more riding on the wave of finishing projects or doing projects, and I don't have the chatter in my head about how disorganized I am or how I am a starter, not a finisher, a procrastinator, not a, all of that stuff. That book gave me a nudge into a new reality, and because of that, I've really been enjoying my time in the Beehive. Now, if this is your first time, the Beehive is what I call my crafting, sewing, stitching room. I call it that because not only do I love bees, and according to my oldest son, they are the indicators of the health of our world, but I'm busy in here. Lots of busyness, and there's a hum to it. And if you've ever done any kind of meditating that includes auditory or vocal humming, you know that there's a peace that comes with all that activity. And so that's why it's called the Beehive. So all things bee, that's me. That kind of rhymed, didn't it? I'm a poet. Oh, how awesome is that? But I showed on my Stitch Roadie channel, which is the cross-stitch segment of my life, a box that was gifted to me from a friend, Judy from Texas. And I just wanted to show again this item here because I am always amazed at the ability of people to use an embroidery machine. It's like a little mug rug. Or it's just, this is all the honeycomb is stitched, my name, the bee is amazing. I look at those embroidery machines much like I look at a serger, like, yeah, that's a path I don't want to go down, so I really loved this. I really loved this. Now back to the most obvious thing. Look at how it sits in the picture, like I'm holding up the tree. Isn't that awesome? Yes. This is an old project that I started that I've gotten back out because I thought, I want to work on holiday projects. And so I thought, yeah, I should pull out some things that are started and not finished and see if I can move them along. And this is one that I picked up at the Tater Patch down in Merrill, Oregon. Merrill, Oregon is a farming community that's on the border of California and Oregon, and that they grow lots of taters there. So the Tater Patch is an absolutely fabulous bucket list shop. You will not be disappointed with a deviation on your travels to stopping there. It's right on the main road highway that goes through town. they have it all, something for everybody. And they are the biggest purveyors of Yazzie bags that I have ever seen in a shop. But I picked up this project several years ago called Tannenbaum, and I just loved it. It is by Laundry Basket Quilts. The problem I had with it is there was a mistake in the pattern, and I am better now than I was back then. Is before you start a pattern, you should go to the designer's website, because they will put corrections to patterns. And there's, I mean, rarely, humans, we make mistakes. And so the way the quilting world has dealt with that is that you can go to a designer's pattern site and look for corrections to patterns. I did not do that. My own fault. And so I know, I don't really know, but I know that there is a mistake in the somewhere in the measurements of what I've already done, because when I went to do the next row, it wasn't going to fit. And that's when I said, is this me or is this a pattern? And it turned out it wasn't me, it was the pattern, but it was too late. And so I just kind of put the project away and left it for another day. And here's another day. I don't know what the mistake is, but I don't care anymore. I am going to adjust what I have to adjust, and I'm going to finish this quilt because I love it. I mean, it is, I can just see it hanging off the banister of my stairwell when you go downstairs. I am on the second floor. The beehive's on the second floor. And I have a spot on the second floor stairway is opened to the first floor, and so I have a spot on the banister where I hang quilts over. And I would love to hang this quilt, maybe not this Christmas, but next Christmas. But this Christmas, I would like this quilt top done. So I decided to drag it back out. Yeah. You'll notice that Enzo is back out of his Halloween outfit into his sailing outfit. Yeah, he's quite dashing in his sailing outfit. He's such a sweet little Enzo. Let's look at what projects we have that are not done. And knowing that now we're in November, and I would like to, I feel, you know, I get the whole idea of like doing projects in the summer for Christmas. That makes sense. That's not how my brain rolls. And so I have to be closer to the holiday. And I figured I'm in November, I should start working on winter and holiday, Christmas, whatever you celebrate, holidays for this time of year. And when I saw the calendar, it was like, whoa, we are in it now. And so I found this in my little pile of things to finish. I found this. Now, don't ask me what pattern it is. If someone knows, please put it in their comments, because I know some of you are going to want this pattern. And I actually got this little pattern and kit from a quilt shop that's now closed, called, you know, it's in Cave Creek. Old World Quilt Shop in Cave Creek. Oh boy. And then I did a little bit, like I put a little bit of fringe on his scarf, kind of decked it up. But it needs to be quilted, layered and quilted, and it's not that big a job. So why leave him in a pile? Yeah, so cute. He is so cute. So I'm going to be working on that. Before I start working on anything today, G's at the dentist, that's why I have a lot of free time this morning. I'm going to be cleaning up the beehive. It's just got little piles everywhere, and I work better if I don't get distracted by piles of something. Yeah. So I'm going to be organizing a bit and cleaning. I have all 3 of the One Block Wonder quilts quilted and ready for binding, and I decided in this, normally I overmake bindings when I make them for a quilt, and so the excess I roll up and I leave in a drawer so that when I need a binding, I just do a scrap binding. But for these 3 littles, their quilts, I thought, sometimes it's the little things, not to sound redundant, but sometimes it's the little things. And, the day-to-day world to navigate is challenging. And all 3 of these littles live in Southern California, in the Los Angeles basin, which to me, having visited there in September, it was like, wow, just the day-to-day obstacles of getting from point A to point B are challenging. And I said, there should be a really fuzzy spot, a feel-good spot for these 3 littles. So their quilts, are all scrappy, but I went to Joann's and I bought binding fabric, and I decided to buy solid flannel binding fabric, and just yardage, and I'm going to cut it into bindings, because then when they're using the quilt, that edge is going to be, it's going to have a softness to it, and I just want in their world to have a little bit of soft. So that's what I decided to do. So today I'm also going to be cutting and piecing binding, because I generally do it on the bias. 2.5-inch strips sewn together, and then, and in these 3 cases I'm going to be machine tacking that binding down so I can get it done, because I do want to mail those off in November. Oh, yeah, in November, like now. So I have that on my agenda. It seems like I have a lot on my agenda, but I know that it's just a matter of doing a piece at a time. I finished binding, and I hand bound this binding. And I love the fabric I chose. It was a plaid that I cut on the bias. And so here it is, all ready to hang up, and as soon as this video is over, I am going to hang this up. Someone asked in the comments where I got these blocks. They were actually, the embroidered block was gifted to me from a friend, and they sat in my sewing room for years. And then I decided I was going to piece them together. So I brought out all my red fabrics, and I squared them up with triangles. And so now this is going to be hanging in my laundry room. Yeah. It feels feels kind of good. You know, when you have a finish, it feels kind of good. Okay. I wanted to show you, I'm looking around at the sheer piles of all of this. I shared with you a video or two ago that I went to the Latimer Textile and Quilt Center in Tillamook, Oregon, and that I had bought a weaving, and I wanted to show it to you up close because I don't think I did. So it's fringed. It's fringed up, you know, it's got this fringe on both ends, but not to make you, I could hypnotize you with this. Look, you want to tack Anna's binding. Look at the eye. You want to tack Anna's binding. Okay, yeah. Isn't that fabulous? And I met the weaver. She happened to be there that day, and I just love this. I absolutely love this. So it's sitting on a chest in my bedroom. The other thing I purchased there, and it was like $5. I mean, really, I think that's what it was. It was a bookmark. It was a woven bookmark. That's just, I mean, weaving is, it's so fascinating to me. Oh, it looks scary. It looks like almost like threading a serger. Very, very scary. But if you have a moment, I'd like to read something to you. When I bought this, I didn't read what the package, what it said in the package. This is how it came. And it was at the, and they had a whole basket full of them. It was at the Latimer Textile Museum. And oh, did you scream? Look at the beading on that spider. And you know, we were not quite at Halloween, so let me just show you. It like hangs. I know it's scaring some of you, isn't it? But wait till you hear what was written. So if you'll indulge me a bit, I'm going to read this. So this came with the spider, and it says, "The Christmas Spider Legend. A long time ago in Germany, while a mother was busily cleaning house in preparation for Christmas, the spiders that usually stayed in the living room, cornered, fled upstairs to the attic to escape her broom. From the attic, they could hear all the excitement from the living room as decorations were being made for when the Christ child was to come on Christmas Eve and bring gifts for the children. Frantic to see the decorated tree, the spiders slowly crept downstairs for a view. Oh, what a beautiful treat in their excitement! They scurried up and down the trunk along each branch. They were filled with happiness as they climbed all through the tree to see the glittering beauty. But alas, by the time they were through climbing all over the tree, it was completely shrouded in their crusty gray spider webs. When the Christ child came, he smiled as he saw how happy the spiders were. However, he knew how heartbroken the mother would be if she saw the tree covered with dusty spider webs. So he reached out and touched the webs, blessing them and turning them to silver and gold. It sparkled and shimmered even more beautiful than before. Thus, the custom to have a spider ornament amongst all the other decorations with tinsel and gold and silver on the Christmas tree was born. Isn't that lovely? So when I purchased this, it was Halloween time, and I was thinking the spider was Halloween. But when I got home and I read this, I realized that he was all about Christmas. I just love that. It's a German story. I think it's so lovely. Okay. I'm looking all around at the different piles that I have to clean up, but I did buy this, a couple things that I want to share with you. And one is this phone holder. Okay, first of all, let me show it. It looks like this. Thumbs up! I'm giving you guys a thumbs up. Yes, I am. But what it does is it can hold the phone either this way, or you can twist the hands and it will hold the phone this way. So let me show you, just so you. So if you're one that watches your phone, and it's hard plastic, and it came in a box, and it says, "Endless likes and blessings to you." It's from doesn't really say what the brand is, but there's the QRS code. If you have a QRS reader, you can scan that. So that was kind of, I love it. I love it. When G and I were going down through California, camping, and to visit my sister, on the way back, we stopped at the Olive Pit in Corning. It also is a Harvest Host, and I've talked about Harvest Host before, place that you can camp overnight if you need to. But G likes pickled olives and vegetables and asparagus and all that stuff. So we always make a point of stopping there. And I decided, I was feeling in the fall mood, and so I decided to buy a bag of these almonds. And the gal who was checking us out said, "Oh, these are so good." She goes, "I really love them." I was going to save them to share with the girlfriends who come to the Beehive, but now I can't, because G and I have literally loved them. Love them. And they are called pumpkin pie almonds. That's how much is left in the bag. I'm sure you can mail order these if they have any left, and I might be doing that because, oh my gosh, are they ever yummy. They are so yummy. I'm going to be going to Pioneer Quilts has their, I think it's, is it this week or next week? I gotta check. Anyway, they're having their Woolly Wednesday, and I would like to woolly at Pioneer Quilts, so I'll be going to that. And otherwise, today is a big beehive cleanup, organize, and binding making time. I hope all of you have been having a wonderful time. I want to leave you with this one last suggestion. I read this book a long time ago called All the Light You Cannot See. It was a wonderful book. It was placed in World War II. I mean, that was the time period. It was the love, a father and a blind daughter. And he created this wooden replica of the city they lived in so she could learn how to navigate this entire city during wartime and all the angst that comes with wartime. Well, Netflix made a miniseries. I think there's like maybe 6 episodes total. And G and I watched it last night. All the Light You Cannot See. The book was one of my top favorites. But this miniseries was the first time I ever thought a cinema was as enjoyable as the book. It was absolutely, I mean, I can't recommend it enough. It is love, loss, hope. Yeah, it's all of that. And I really needed to get out of my rut of just watching reruns. And that was the perfect, and we literally binge watched it one evening because I couldn't stop. So that's my recommendation for the week. You all take care. Love you bunches.